reviewing for your test, every time we have numbers that we're plugging in for variables, we're always going to plug them in parentheses. So it's 4, 2 squared minus a negative 3 cubed here. Okay? We do the exponents first. So 4 squared is 4. Negative 3 cubed, negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. And 9 times negative 3 is negative 27. Please be aware, the negative 3 cubed is not 3 times 3. We don't multiply a base to an exponent. Negative 3 cubed, negative 3 times negative 3, which is positive 9, times the third negative 3, which is negative 27. Then we do our multiplication. 4 times 4 is 16, minus a negative 27, and then it becomes 16 plus 27 with the double negative, and 43 is our answer. Second one, 3. We're going to plug x and y in, plus 4 times negative 3. I'm going to plug that z in. Okay? We're going to do the parentheses first. 4 plus 2 is 6, plus a 4 times negative 3. 3 times 6 is 18, plus 4 times negative 3 is a negative 12, and 18 plus a negative 12 is 6. Our next one here, I'm just plugging in. My x is 4, plus my y is 2, all over 2 times the negative 3 plus 3. I'm going to do the multiplication on top and the bottom. 20 plus 6 over negative 6 plus 3 becomes 26 over a negative 3. And once again, I don't like leaving a negative in the denominator. I want to write that answer as negative 26 thirds. And that's my answer. So this one down here, my x remains 4. My y remains 2. And it's all over 3 times negative 3 squared minus 2 times negative 3 minus 7. I'm going to deal with the exponents first here, and once again, signs matter. 4 squared is 16. 4 times 2 is 8 minus 2. All over negative 3 squared. Negative 3 times a negative 3 is a positive 9. That even exponent turns that positive. Okay. Let me erase back here. I'm sorry, I jumped the gun there a bit. I'm going to leave the 4 times 2 minus 2 first. And then we're going to have minus 2 times negative 3 minus 7. Now I want to multiply. All right, don't jump the gun. Exponents first, then multiply. So in this case, we're going to have 32. 2 times 16. 4 times 2 is 8. Minus 2. And that's all over 3 times 9 is 27. Negative 2 times negative 3 is a positive 6 minus 7. And then I'm going to clean this up. 32 plus 8 is 40 minus 2 is 38. Over 27 plus 6 is 33. 33 minus 7 is a 26. And once again, I'm a big fan of reducing. 19 over 13 ends up being our answer. The fifth one, my x is 4. My z is a negative 3. And that's what I'm squaring. Over my x, once again, is a 4. And my y is a 2. And this is why I'm a big fan of putting parentheses around the numbers. If you didn't, this just looks like 42. And obviously that's not what I'm after there. I'm going to do the parentheses first. 4 minus a negative 3 is 7. So we're left with 7 squared over 4 times 2. 7 squared is 49 over 4 times 2. And then finally my division, 49 over 8. And I can't reduce that, and that is my final answer. So in this case here, we got to combine like terms. I'm combining my x cubes. 4x cubed and 3x cubed is 7x cubed. My x squared, there's nothing to combine it with. You can't combine an x squared with an x or an x cubed. So if there's nothing to combine it with, you just leave it. There's nothing to combine with that negative 7x, so I just leave it. 7 and negative 10 combine to be negative 3, and that's my answer. So if there's nothing to combine with, you just leave it. Okay? If there's something to combine with, you combine. With a plus sign, it's a little easier, you just combine like terms. Whenever you have a negative sign outside the parentheses, we've got to distribute. So don't be lazy here. Write the first 3 terms down again. And now I distribute that negative. Negative to the x squared is minus x squared. Negative to the negative 7x is positive 7x. And negative to a positive 12 is minus 12. And now I'm going to combine my like terms. 2x squared and negative x squared is x squared. 5x and 7x is 12x. Negative 3 and negative 12 is negative 15. It's also good form to always have your answer in descending order amongst the exponents. Cubed, squared, x, constant. Squared, x, constant. You don't want the numbers all over the place. You want to be organized. Okay? Here we're going to distribute first. The 4 goes to both terms in this parenthesis, and we're left with 8x plus 12. The 7 goes to both terms in this parenthesis, and we're left with 35x minus 63. 8x and 35x is 43x. 12 and negative 63 is negative 51. And there's my answer. When you have 3 here, we're going to distribute in 9x plus 15. The negative with the 4, it stays with the 4. So that negative stays with the 4. Minus 16x plus 12. Negative 4 times 4x is negative 16x. Negative 4 times a negative 3 is a positive 12. And combine like terms. 9 minus 16 is negative 7. 15 and 12 is plus 27. And there's my answer. When we have a term outside the parentheses, we just get it to each term. And remember, 4x times 3x squared. It's not like adding and subtracting, we have that same exponent. You can multiply. 4 times 3 is 12. X times x squared is x cubed. Same base, we're adding those exponents. And if there's no exponent, it's assumed to be 1. 4x times 5x is 20x squared, because 1 plus 1 is 2 on the exponents. And 4x times negative 7 is negative 28x. And that's the answer. With 2 parentheses, we're foiling. The 3x goes to both terms, and the 5 goes to both terms. 21x squared minus 6x, and then 5 times 7x is 35x minus 10. And then we're combining those middle terms. 21x squared and negative 6 and positive 35 is plus 29x, and then we're subtracting 10. Here, this represents a difference of 2 squares where the middle term is going to cancel out. But we're still doing the same thing. 4x times 4x is 16x squared. It can be written out the same way. 4x times 3 is 12x. And then negative 3 times 4x is negative 3 times 3. Negative 3 times 4x is negative 12x. And negative 3 times 3 is a negative 9. And 12x and negative 12x cancel out. Since they cancel out, I don't leave the 0. It's just this. All right, I really want to stress this. Whenever we see a binomial square, the common mistake is people want to do 36x squared plus 25. And we have a word for that in math. It's called completely wrong. Okay? There's no sort of maybe gee whiz on. No, you're wrong. When you see a binomial like this in parentheses with an exponent, you've got to write the binomial out. There's no getting around that fact. Okay? And then we're doing the foiling we did on this previous problem. Right above it and just to the left of it. 6x times 6x is 36x squared. 6x times 5 is 30x. 5 times 30x is 30x. 5 times 5 is 25. Sometimes people want to just cancel the middle terms. Got to be careful here. You don't cancel something when you have 2 of the same sign. You need opposite signs. You're going to combine those like terms like you did in the problem above. 30x and 30x is 60x. And then 25 on the back end there. so now, similar to foiling, it's just kind of an extra step. The 3x gets multiplied to 3 terms. So we end up with 6x cubed, 15x squared, and minus 12x. But now this negative 2 has to go to all 3 terms. Be careful with the negative. Minus 4x squared, minus 10x, but then I get a plus 8 on that double negative. Negative 2 times negative 4. All right? 6x cubed doesn't combine with anything, so I leave it. 15x squared and minus 4x squared is 11x squared. Negative 12x and negative 10x and negative 22x. And 8 doesn't go with anything, so we just leave it. And that's our